Many of you have been in a wilderness season. I'm talking total isolation. Test after test, warfare after warfare, running and hiding from the enemy. God had to literally hide some of you because of the intense warfare and the hate and the darkness that people was working against you. But God says this season is coming to an end. And many of you feel it. And so you're like, God, where do I go from here? How do I even integrate myself into the world again? Who do I trust? I'm ready to start living life again, but I don't know how. Many of you are like, the wilderness season has forever changed me. And now you're just like, God, what do I do? What now? God says, get ready for Hebron. You are going up. After Saul had died and David was getting ready to exit his wilderness season and his season of hiding, it says in 2 Samuel 2 1 and 4 that David inquired of the Lord, saying, shall I go up to any of the cities of Judah? And the Lord said to him, go up. David said, where shall I go up? And he said, to Hebron. Then the men of Judah came, and there they anointed David king over the house of Judah. The Hebrew meaning for Hebron means association, fellowship, league, or alliance. When David was in the wilderness and in the Philistine territory, I can only imagine the environment was filled with suspicion, was filled with anxiety, extreme mental exhaustion, and loneliness. So before God handed him the entire kingdom, he brought him to Hebron first, a place of fellowship, alliance, and support. It was a place where he could rest and heal from the wilderness season before he stepped into the fullness of the blessing and call over his life. Many of you are extremely and mentally exhausted from the wilderness season. It has caused you to have trust issues, anxiety, because you've constantly been on the run, constantly looking out for your enemy, constantly hiding, constantly fighting, always alone. And so God has to give you this blessing in phases so that you can heal, be strengthened, and supported to carry the fullness of it all. For 7.5 years in Hebron, David was surrounded by his own tribe. For the first time in like a decade, he was finally safe and secure among people who genuinely loved him and chose him. He was allowed to rest from the constant flight or fight of the state of the desert. He was experiencing healthy community, loyalty, and mutual support. 2 Samuel 2 and 4 says, the people of Judah rallied around David, and he was crowned king over the clans of Judah from Hebron. When you transition from the wilderness to Hebron, you will experience support, love, alliances, divine promotion, and positioning that will prepare you for the full blessing of God. God says this is a two-stage blessing that is coming because of your faithfulness in the wilderness. Expect a double promotion. David went from hiding in the enemy territory, hiding in the wilderness, to a double promotion. The Bible tracks this two-step promotion in 2 Samuel 5 1 and 3. It says, then all the tribes of Israel came to David at Hebron and spoke, saying, indeed, we are your bone and your flesh. And the Lord said to you, you shall shepherd my people Israel and be ruler over Israel. And they anointed David king over Israel. 2 Samuel 5 and 5 says, in Hebron he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months. And in Jerusalem he reigned 33 years over all Israel and Judah. So the rest of the nation saw the stability, the strength, and the blessing flowing out of that fellowship in Hebron and said, we want to be a part of that association as well. So David was given a double promotion in stages, one in Hebron and the other in Jerusalem. Hebron, which means association or fellowship, was the place where he got the first half and was crowned king over Judah. God first restored him through healthy community and local support. And in Jerusalem, which means foundation of wholeness or peace, was the place where he got the final half. He had reached total completeness and ruled over all of Israel and Judah. So here's how you can track what your transition is going to look like. You're going to go from isolation or wilderness to association and support in Hebron to full dominion in Jerusalem. It's only going up from here, God says. He says you're coming into the first half of your blessing now. Instead of throwing you into the deep all at once, God is breaking the promises down into manageable phases like he did with David so that you can handle the weight of the blessing. And I was like, so God, What does life look like when you're finally out of your wilderness season? Like, how do I have fun? What do I do? What is it going to feel like? And again, there's a blueprint given in the Bible. After David took the entire nation in his first years, the Bible says he restored God's presence. He brought the ark into the center of the city. It said he had abundance and generosity. He was rich enough to personally feed the entire nation with bread, meat, and cakes. He had unrestrained joy. He was dancing through the streets. There was celebration. He had total breakthrough. The enemies that used to hunt him were now completely defeated. God says, go up. Get ready for Hebron, then Jerusalem. You're coming into a double promotion, says the Lord.